This is Brett Williams. He's the most loved and hated designer on the internet right now. Why do some people love him and some people hate him? Because he makes $1.2 million a year running his solo design agency, only working 4 hours a day, and he sells design subscriptions. Now, I don't care if you love him or hate him. The question is, what can you learn from him? All right, here he is. This is Brett Williams, owner of the agency called Design Joy. Design Joy is an agency supposedly with a twist, and that twist is he sells design subscriptions for everybody. Now, what is a design subscription? The way that Brett lays it out, and a lot of people have now mimicked and copied his business model, is that a design subscription is a way for you to sign up with one monthly fee and get unlimited design, as much design as you want. If you have 50 things you need done, it's one price. If you have one thing that needs to be done, it's one price. If you have a large project, it's that same one price every month. If you have a tiny project, it's the same price. You can see here on the Design Joy website, you can actually click the plans, move all the way down, and you can see these two different plans. It's either a standard or a pro plan. You click on one of these, you're just immediately led to a Stripe checkout. No call, no contract, no proposal. You're just taking this guarantee of unlimited design and how it's been presented and just immediately move into that monthly unlimited design subscription. Now, to some people, this is going to be absolutely wild. Some people don't believe this is true. And like I said, Brett is very controversial online. You can see him here on Twitter. He's even sharing images, receipts of people who have signed up for this design subscription. People who have repeat subscriptions. You can see his Stripe is robust in its finances, and people hate this. Some people are on the camp or in the camp that love him. They think he was first to market. He's figured out a new model for, running and scaling an agency. They think he's creative. They think he's tapped into something. Other people think he's a charlatan. He's a fake. He's a liar. He's just making things up. There's no way he does this in 4 to 5 hours a day and make over $100,000 a month. Now, I'd love to hear what you think. Leave me down some comments down below. Let me know. Let's start a conversation. Where are you at? Are you kind of like ambiguous about the whole thing? Are you in the middle, or are you in one of these camps? Let me know. And you can also check the description for a bunch of links to interviews, because I'm not interviewing Brett today, but there's a lot of people who have, and I've watched a ton of those interviews. I figured I would just distill down my thoughts into this video, and you can go do the research yourself. If you want to know more, again, this is not sponsored. This is not from Brett. He has a course called Productize Yourself, where you can learn how to do this in your company as well. Now, whether or not you want to do that, that's up to you. Whether or not you think this is a business model that might work for you, again, that's up to you. But he does claim to make over $1 million a year, working 4 hours a day, selling these design subscriptions. And here's Brett's story. Brett says that he started this in 2017 out of a need, these are his words, to differentiate himself. Now, when I hear the words differentiate himself or myself, that's a sales strategy. That's saying, hey, everybody else is doing something else, and I want to have some sort of X factor. I want to stand out from the crowd. Also, Brett has said in those interviews that he didn't want to spend and waste a bunch of time with contracts and proposals. So not only did he have a sales strategy, but he had a business model that he wanted to match his needs, his skills, and the way he wants to operate in business. That's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all for you want to do business in a different way. He also says that he focuses on SaaS products for the majority of the work he does. SaaS companies as well as tech companies. You can actually go down and see the type of work, but also the scope of work. What services does Design Joy offer? Anything from websites and mobile apps, logos and branding, design systems, got SaaS, wireframe, stationery, brand guides, signage, brochures, business cards. So he's established that pretty much anything and everything that a tech or SaaS company probably needs, he's available for you. He can make it happen. Now, this might seem insane to some people, and a lot of people who have actually copied this model recently have specified or niched down on this design subscription model. So maybe you are a design subscription for logo and packaging. I've seen those. Design subscription for Webflow development or Framer development. I've seen those. They're starting to pop up, but Brett is really, from what I can tell online, the person who kind of created this idea. And so whether or not you love or hate the guy, whether or not you think he's a charlatan or a hero, here's a few things that I think are interesting that you can take away and learn from Brett's story. Number one, stop trying to blend in and start trying to stand out. A differentiator is a massive thing in this industry. It is a noisy industry, the design industry. It is a noisy space. If you want to be just another web designer, you are competing against thousands upon thousands upon thousands of talented designers. And if you think your differentiator is going to be my design is better, you're probably wrong. Because like Mr. Miyagi said in The Karate Kid, you know karate, somebody always knows more karate. And so he has established himself as a person who just wanted a new sales technique, who wanted to stand out and differentiate themselves. The question for us is, how are we differentiating ourselves? It can't necessarily be in the design work we do. Maybe it's in the type of design work we do as we niche down and specialize. Maybe it's a platform, maybe it's a price point, maybe it's the way that you deal with your customers or the process in which you have. But some way you have to have a differentiator. And so if you are building your freelance business or your agency, ask yourself that question. What's my differentiator? Number two, you can build a business that works for somebody else, but at the end of the day, you're going to hate it. And I think that a lot of people would actually hate Brett and the Design Joy model, the way that he's running things. But he has said in multiple interviews, this is what works for me. He says he basically has created a job for himself, but it's a well-paying job. It was hard to build and grind it out to scale his agency to get it where he wants it to be, but he is fine working and grinding on client work. He says 4 to 5 hours a day, task switching and moving between clients. That's fine for him. That works for him. And you know what? That may not work for you. And so it's not about building the exact same model that Brett has built or I have built, but it's about building a model for your freelance business or your agency that works for you. One that works with your lifestyle, one that works with your family situation, one that works to help you pay the bills that you need to be paid, one that's going to help support your retirement and all of your needs. How much vacation do you want to take? How much do you want to make? How much do you want to work each and every day? You should be trying to build a business that works for you, not try to make yourself work for a business that you want nothing to be a part of. So step back, stop asking yourself how you can make more money and start asking yourself how you can make the right money or the type of money that supports the lifestyle that you want. I think the third lesson that we can learn from Brett and Design Joy, whether you believe him or not, is that you need to figure out what you're good at and you need to systematize it. Now, Brett runs everything off of Trello boards. I think right now he's currently building a new task management system specifically for people who want to productize their services in this design subscription way. But up until this point, he's used simple Trello boards, not Asana, not Jira, not complex ClickUp or Notion systems, no contracts or documents, just Stripe checkout and simple Trello boards has worked for him. He probably has a couple of automations going, and at the end of the day, that's what works for him. It doesn't have to be what works for other people, but you need to figure out what you're good at and how you can systematize it. And if you are trying to do things that you're not good at and you are reinventing the wheel every time, your freelance business or your agency will never grow. And so that's a huge lesson learned from Brett that you can take with you is do what you're good at and systematize it as fast as possible. The last takeaway, and I think the most crucial takeaway that we can learn from this whole Brett Design Joy story, is that clear offerings will always win no matter the way you want to do business. And so if you want to charge people for websites per project, do it. If you want to be charging people hourly or on a contract basis, if you want to go to work for them full time, or you want to do monthly retainers, design subscriptions, value-based pricing, all of that can work. There's no one right answer, except the fact that anything that you do, you have to have a clear offering, and that's going to be the thing, the huge differentiator. It's going to help you win. Brett has done a great job of making a clear offering around design subscriptions. This is what Alex Hormozy, the famous business tycoon, has called a grand slam offer. Sometimes a per project basis, the way that you charge clients can be a grand slam offer. Sometimes a monthly retainer, sometimes charging hourly can be a grand slam offer. You want to do VIP day rates? Do it. Just make sure that your messaging is clear and that the client, the potential client, sees the value in it. It's benefit rich, they understand it, and they look at it and say, how could I not hire this person or pay them this money? It's so worth it to me to pay this money right now. That's what Brett's done in his own way. The question for us is, how do we do it in our way, in a way that works for our business, our life, our skill sets? How do we do it? So make sure you ask yourself that question today. Well, there you have it. That's Brett Williams and the Design Joy story. What do you think about this whole thing? Do you love Design Joy? Do you love design subscriptions? Do you hate them? Do you think it's going to be the destruction of the design industry as a whole? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And make sure you check the description. I put a bunch of links to interviews that people have done with Brett, so you can hear his thoughts directly from him. Really, really interesting stuff. Definitely check those out. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you know when more videos come out. And speaking of more videos, if you want more content, check out this video here or that one. I'll see you in the next one.